Hello everybody and welcome to F1 Manager 23, season number 2, race number 7 I think. Top in FP1 by about a second to the nearest car. Top in FP2 as well. Both sessions we've been split by a Ferrari. George was quicker than the next car by 3.5 tenths. Into practice 3. So glad there's not that many sprint races. Oh yeah, setup G. George 97%, Lewis 100%. Second and 20th in FP3 because Lewis's gearbox is getting a bit worn out, so it's literally on like 15-20% or something like that. So anyway, we'll just keep. I am thinking about taking a new ERS for this race, but as of Q1 I have not just yet.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
There are 3 periods of qualifying ahead of the drivers now. Remember, only the fastest 10 will make it through to Q3 for a shot at pole position.
Karun, if we could perhaps talk about Lewis for a moment. How do you think he's feeling?
I'll say this, it's always a pleasure seeing a confident driver take to the track. Being in the right frame of mind is a real advantage.
Fortunately for us, it's nearly time for them to hit the track.
It's quality time here in Q1. Trying to do the one and done technique, only doing one lap. As you can see on the bottom left, George has a worn out ERS and so does Lewis. It's green in the first sector for Lewis, green for George. That doesn't mean much though, as it's their first laps. Or first proper laps actually, as I sent them out on inters just so they can gain a bit of confidence. Because that's how F1 Manager 23 works, I guess. Anyway, green, George, green. Coming through the final corner. Up to the line, what's it going to be? It's a P4 for Lewis, 6.5 tenths off, that's quite a bit. George goes 6 tenths off, 8 tenths off by the end of the session. That is a big gap. There's 2 McLarens are out in Q1, start of Q2 on a worn set of softs, the scrub set that we just used in Q1. Coming round the first sector, a very tight and challenging first sector. You need to hook up every corner. It's an 18.2 for Lewis, an 18.2 for George. They're split by 0.03 of a second, being mightily close, which will hopefully help, because that means they won't be split by many cars when it comes for a race day. I mean, hopefully they're 1-2, because we kind of need to beat Ferrari after Ferrari got a 1-2 last race. Yeah, Ferrari got a 1-2 last race. And we got a 3rd and 5th, which isn't ideal, as they're split by 1.5 and that was enough to get through to Q2. Show, Bottas, and a couple of others out in Q2. First flying lap in Q3, and this would have been on the scrub set that we had just used in Q2 for the final run. Purple for George, purple for Lewis. I think it's 0.08 between them in Lewis's favour. Going down through the tunnel. Monaco is such a nice track, although in real life a bit crappy because you can't race, but hey ho. 31.6. They're separated by another 200ths. This could be very equal as they come across the line. Up to the line. George does a 109. Lewis goes faster. As now they start their final laps in Q3. Very cold tires, I have to say. As George gets impeded by science a little bit there. Lewis goes purple, George goes yellow, which is understandable because he's just been blocked. Anyway, coming further through the lap, into the tunnel, down to, is this Casino? No, this is not Casino Square. It's the chicane, whatever it is. Purple, green for Lewis, yellow for George, so he's not having a good lap. George is not likely to improve here, which could put him under threat from Stroll, Perez and Verstappen. Lewis goes across the line, can't do much. George doesn't improve either. Now it's just on Perez. How come Perez do as he rounds the final corner. Bit slow, probably should speed it up. There we go. Perez improves to 5th, not in front of us. Ocon splits us. Beats George by 5 thousandths. He's going to cause such problems in the race. Alpine is so quick in quali but slow in the race. As now it's just Max that can bump us down an extra position. Why is Max going to put the Red Bull up to the line? He goes P6. It's 3rd and 5th for Mercedes on the grid for race day.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Monaco can hand out unpredictable results, just like in 1982, when 4 race leaders hit trouble. Riccardo Patrese eventually claimed the win after managing to restart his stalled car by himself with a downhill bump start. And the sky is looking grey and cloudy today. An effective tyre strategy could prove very valuable as the race plays out.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix. The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers prepare for the 78 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix. Yuki Tsunoda will be hoping things go his way today.
They've done well to secure a P9 start, and they'll be keen to convert that into some points.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Indeed, is it lights out and away we go, and it is time to go for the Grand Prix. Decent start, Ferrari on hards. We need to jump them. Lewis to the inside. Lewis up to P2 for now, but that engine speed from the Ferrari is OP, because I remember changing the ERSs in Q2 just before Q2, which isn't realistic at all. If you stuck with them, you stuck with them. But I just wondered if they'd bring more pace, and they did. They brought about 3/10 more pace, as they've now got Lewis out of DRS, and now because of that Lewis is going to keep Ocon, and Ocon's been fighting Max. George lost the place to Max somewhere, and Lewis is now, well, Lewis is still P3. Lewis had a decent start. Unfortunately the Ferraris on lap 6 are just 5 seconds away, clearly proving that our race pace does not line up with our quali pace at all, as George manages to go around the outside of the straight on Max Verstappen, and here's a replay of it.
The opportunity's there. And George Russell says thank you very much.
Decent move that, as Ocon was going for Lewis. Leclerc takes fastest lap. We're now 19. Ferrari now have a pit stop on us by lap 27. As Lewis sets the fastest lap trying to push Ocon away. But now George has been pushed away from Ocon. And Lewis is now back in a pit stop range, and George is back in DRS range. So what can George do? As this is going to be George's pit lap, I think. Yes, it will be. On to hards. And we're going to pit Lewis on the next lap, not the same lap as George, the one after, just so we can try and get an undercut on this Alpine, which will massively help our race. And also George's got more worn tyres than Lewis, and now I make sure that it's the next lap, because he could have gone over the line, and it's like, nope, now it's this lap. So I pit him again just to make sure on the next lap. And we go, George comes in 1 lap before the Alpine, and this has to be a quick stop. This can't be a slow stop. We can't afford it, especially at a race like Monaco. It has to always be a quick stop. On your marks, off, on, away, 3.1. It's not as bad as our stops from Imola, which I believe were about 3.2-ish. So we'll take it. We are quite low on the pit stop rankings right now, but when aren't we? We're 10th in the constructors in that thing. We're going to come out in front of Verstappen, who actually pulled the trigger the lap before. We maintain the position on him, and hopefully we can get a jump on Ocon as Lewis comes in the lap later.
Okay, copy, Lewis.
As so does Ocon, and so does Perez. Off, on. 3.1 better, kill some Alpine mechanics just because we can. And Ocon's come out. Lewis is going to come out in front of George for sure. Hello, will we get Alonso? I think he might just stay ahead of Alonso with Lewis. As we make sure on our POV, as there's Ocon to the inside, we go round the outside and ahead of Ocon, and Max glitches through Ocon. Our cars are now together as we gain one place for a pit stop and round Casino Square and down to Mirabeau. Lewis gets the place on Alonso, and that was a neat and tidy move.
Closer and closer to that podium, now in 4th place.
You don't see many of them around Monaco. That was a move and a half, as George is going to go down the inside into the chicane, which he manages round the outside in the end. And now, as Alonso pits, we're up to 3rd and 4th. So that would have been a Stroll we're fighting, actually. That's when they have a 40-second gap for us on that 45. They decides to pit from mediums because they both went hards to mediums, which was probably the right strategy for them today. Overcut everyone, make sure they're not in any traffic, get the win. They're 20 seconds in front, 19 in fact, as Leclerc now pits off his hards onto his mediums, 2-point-something second stop, much quicker than ours. And I just wonder if we had done that strategy, if we'd be any higher. Anyway, if buts and maybes do not equal results. As with 10 laps to go, George tries a little something around the outside, but we're going to conserve him and push Lewis to make sure Lewis stays, because I don't want these guys fighting, because if they fight and they let Max back in the train, that's bad for us. So we get Lewis to push and we get Lewis to keep the place without telling George to allow teammate through, which would lose him a second or two. Sainz and Leclerc get 1st and 2nd. Yuki and Stroll get points. We get 3rd and 4th. Solid race, but not great considering our rivals Ferrari got a 1-2. But we massively outscored Red Bull. They got 16 points, we got 27 points, that's 11 on Red Bull. But we lost, what, 44-27. Oh god, I wish I was good at maths. We lost a lot to Ferrari, I know that much. We'd have lost
Wow, what a fantastic
18 points, something like that. So huge points lost to Ferrari.
What a fantastic result for the team who got everything right for this podium. They deserve nothing less.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. And Lewis Hamilton takes to the podium once more, adding yet another trophy to his legacy.
And that's podium number 2, down to the hard work of the driver and the whole team, of course.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo. They'll be pushing the boat out here tonight, no doubt. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
They'll certainly be pleased to have made the podium. A job well done for sure.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
So Carlos Sainz in 2024 wins the Monaco Grand Prix, unlike in real life where it was Charles Leclerc. Charles at least got fastest lap, but giving Carlos the beneficial strategy would not have been appreciated by Leclerc fans all over in Monaco. We got P3 from P3 and P4 from P5, so I'm happy with that. George overtakes Perez in the driver's standings, and look at that. Ferrari are 5 points away, pardon me, and we're 31 points away from Red Bull. No points for us in the pit stop championship, but we were a lot better, only 6/10 off. We are improving these pit stops, or everybody else's pit stops are just getting worse. Anyway, moving on to the next race, which is Spain. We have the suspension research complete, which is good. And we decide to do an underfloor design using the rest of our hours. This upgrade will be good when it comes on, which should be... Would it be for Silverstone? Oh no, we decide against the underfloor. We decide for the front wing. Okay, so the front wing upgrade is important because I've live streamed a few ahead. Live streamed quite a few Grand Prix ahead. Mega Gamer 8888 on Twitch if you want to watch these live. I'm currently ready for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Oh, sorry, the Austrian Grand Prix. Which is a sprint, meaning if they have a poor setup and I can emergency manufacture an upgrade that has hours on it, which means it will give us a lot of time on the track, I'm going to have to do that. Come on, what am I waiting for? Just do the design. Well, stop fiddling about and just do the design. Just leave it like that. Do the design. Yep, that'll do. Intense upgrade, because that improves the expertise for the next upgrade. So you should probably do intense every time. And we have some new upgrades. Lewis will now get the new side pod for Spain, and Lewis will get the new underfloor. I've decided to give that to... Oh, do I give it to George? I thought I gave it to Lewis. I'm sure I gave it to Lewis. Yeah, there you go. I give it to Lewis. And then George can have the old spec. And I think we can get 2 cars in the top 6 in quali and 2 cars in Q3 because I've not had them knocked out ever. 2 cars in top 6 on race day. And the qualifying streak is the same. Make sure to like and subscribe. And follow me on Twitch, Mega Gamer 8888. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.